It's a Tuesday, the 14th of May actually. I just finished my first final exam from high school and it went terrible. I didn't fill in the half of the test and I was panicking. I didn't know what to do and I really wanted to finish high school, but this wasn't just a good start. I'm not really stressed out that frequently, but when I'm stressed out I call my dad. My dad is a coach and he's really good at helping me calm down. So I called my dad and I asked him, "Dad, I think I screw up and I'm panicking and I don't know what to do." My father helped me. He calmed me down a little, and he calmed me down because I still had another final exam in 2 hours. I was stressed out, and not just because I just wanted to finish high school. I mean, of course, that's nice, but there was something else. For the last couple of years I've been into self-improvement and I've been trying to grow my 2 YouTube channels. Or actually I've been making a lot of videos for my first channel, and it actually grew pretty big. And my goal was to reach 100,000 subscribers on that channel. But always when I had some momentum and it was going really well with my channel, there would always come up some test for school where I needed to focus on. And that was so freaking annoying because I couldn't really stay focused on what I actually wanted. So I negotiated with my parents so I could take a gap year. And my mom wasn't so happy with that, but after a lot of trying I convinced her to take a gap year. But I needed to graduate from high school in one try, so I really needed to make it. And maybe now you understand why I was so stressed out after that first test. Anyway, I made my second test, it went okay, a little better than the first one, and I went home, got to my room and I was like crap. And I didn't know what to do. And then suddenly I realized there's something amazing I learned on a seminar I've been to in Amsterdam, which is called the A Factor from Joseph McClendon. And he taught me a process called magnetism. And it's a 4-step process which is so incredibly easy, but the thing is that all successful people do this stuff. Some people do it consciously and some people don't, but they still all do it. So I got my notebook from that seminar and I started to look at the process. And I was like, damn, if I want to graduate from high school, this is what I need to do. So I got my notebook, opened it up and I looked at step number 1. And step number 1 said, know exactly what you want. And I was like, okay, of course. Well, I know what I want, I just want to graduate from high school. But it wasn't in detail enough, because I didn't just want to graduate, but I also wanted to graduate without needing any resets. So I wrote it down like this. And what I want you to do is take a notebook or something you can write on or something you can type. You can also just open the notepad on your laptop if you want to, but just make sure you get something you can write on. Trust me, just do it. And I wrote down, Ndup, actually I wrote down my real name, but that's okay. I, Ndup, want to graduate from high school in May 2024 without needing any resets. So that's what I want you to do. Pick your notebook, write down step number 1. What do I want? And then write down what you want. And be really specific. Really go into detail. By the way, also write a date with it. Like I did with my exams, like I want to graduate in May 2024. Write down like before the 1st of January 2025. Just pick a deadline for yourself. And then after that I looked at step number 2. And this step is actually one of the most important steps. And I'm going to tell you why in a bit, but just stick with me. And it's also really easy, but it's so important. Step number 2 is, why do you want it? Why do you want to achieve your goal so badly? And I really went into depth. Of course, the first reason, I already told you this, but the first reason, so I could take a gap year and I could focus on my YouTube channel. Number 2, I wanted to make myself proud. Number 3, I wanted to make my parents proud. I also wanted to make my girlfriend proud. It would also give me a lot of more freedom. And I would have the chance to prove myself to my parents that I do not need to go to college. Because I do not want to. I just told you like 4 or 5 things, but I think I wrote down like 20. And that's exactly what I want you to do, is write these things down. Think of at least 5 reasons why you really want to achieve this goal. At least 5, and if you're able to go for more than 5, maybe 10 or 20, 40, whatever you want, but as much as you can. So the reason why this step is so important, because at the moments you don't really feel like going for it anymore, it will give you an insane amount of motivation, or at least enough to keep going. Because you guys already know, studying sometimes can be so incredibly boring, and I was studying for like 8 hours a day. And of course there were a couple of moments where I didn't... Mosquitoes. And then of course there were a couple of moments where I was like, no, I don't feel like doing it anymore. My brain started to ask me questions like, why are you even doing this? And when your brain is asking you those simple questions, you need to be able to answer them quickly. And you can if you follow this step. But if you don't, your mind will take control of you. And chances are high that you will quit. So that's why this step is so incredibly important. It gives you enough motivation to keep going. Don't do it after this video. Write down right now, why do you want to achieve your goal so badly? And really go into detail. Because trust me, this will really help you to achieve your goal. So I did all these things and I was so excited after this to get to work, to start studying, because I just wanted to graduate so incredibly badly. And I knew that if I would start to work as hard as I even can, I would make it. So that's actually what I did. I started studying. Also, I don't know if I told you guys this, but the next day I would have a Dutch final exam. And I still needed to prepare for that. And then suddenly when I was busy studying, I realized, crap, I forgot step 3 and 4. So I stopped studying and I started doing step 3. And step 3 is amazing. It feels so incredibly good to do this. And I've done this now multiple times and it's amazing. Step number 3 is make it reality already. And maybe you're wondering like, what the hell do you mean by that? But it's actually really simple. You need to ask yourself the question, what will I get if I achieve my goal? For me, of course it was pretty obvious. I would get my degree. And for me it was pretty easy actually, because my sister went to the same high school and she already got a degree. So I went to her garage, found her degree, which was really dusty. I cleaned the degree, made a picture of it, and then I put it into Photoshop and edited a little. I changed the date, I changed the name and that kind of stuff, and then it actually looked like it was my degree. And it felt so incredibly good. It looked like I already finished high school. The only thing I still needed to do is print it. So that's exactly what I did. So I printed it and I put it on my door. And I was so proud of that damn thing. I was so proud. I actually was so proud that I called my dad and I was like, Dad, look at this. This is amazing. I already finished high school. And he's also into this kind of thing, so he started laughing and he was really proud of me. So it was amazing. And maybe you're wondering right now, what is it that I will get from achieving my goal? For example, if it's like you want to make $1,000, then pick a picture of your bank account filled with $1,000. Or if you want to build more muscle, Photoshop a picture of yourself on the body of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can do whatever you want. Just be creative. Then print the picture and put it somewhere on your wall in your room, but somewhere you can see it every single day. And then look at this as much as you freaking can. When I didn't feel like studying anymore, I looked at my degree and my degree was like on my door. And when I woke up, I looked at my degree and it was like, this thing will be freaking mine. And I was so motivated. It was incredible. I never had that much motivation to study. And I was crazy. I don't know what happened to me, but I only focused on studying. And then there's one more step. And step number 4 is also really important, but really easy. Write down now in your notebook number 4. Create a future pace. And what I mean by that is create a scenario from the future where you already achieve your goal. So what I did is I chose the 4th of July 2024. And that's actually in a couple of weeks. And that will be my graduation. You know what I mean, just a place where I will get my degree. And I wrote down a little story like how it would be like if I would congratulate my friends and how I hugged them and that kind of stuff. And I would be so proud of myself. And I always see my parents smiling at me and my teachers looking at me, being proud. Oh, I actually freaking did it. And that stuff also feels so freaking good. Take your time for that one. Again, pause the video and write a little story for yourself. And take the time to pick a nice date. Make sure it is in the future after you achieve your goal. And guys, I kind of lied to you, because that's not 4 steps. That's actually 5. And step number 5 is only for the people who will stick to the end. So for you guys. Step number 5 is get to work. All these tricks were really nice to get my degree, but without any studying I would never get my degree. Never. So that's what I want you to do right now. After you finish these 4 steps, get to work. Also take some rest at the moments you need it, but do as much as you can. And if you'll do that, chances are high you will achieve your goal. Oh, and by the way, you probably already guessed it since I'm making this video. It worked. The whole process worked. I got my degree. Or actually, I will get it in a couple of weeks, but I made it. I finished high school. Thanks to this stuff. So I'm not telling you any bullshit. This stuff actually works. Thank you very much for watching. Check this video if you want to learn more about success, and then I'll see you in the next one.